hear geese. I hear cardinals. What do you hear? What do you see? What do you hear? What do you want to do, Rex? Let's go outside. Oh, wait. It's freezing outside. 32 on a morning in February. I'm not sure that qualifies as freezing, really. Where's the cardinal? I hear him. Don't have to speak over the wind. Some ducks. I should know what those are. Mergansers? I don't know. Cardinal's up in that tree. I know it. He likes it up there. Let's hear it. No? All right. First things first. How's the wind? Ha! Look! Flagpole is back. There's no wind. There are no isobars in New England this morning. The black lines. Lines of equal pressure. Air is, excuse me, wind is air moving from high to low pressure. There's going to be low pressure coming at us from the northwest and high pressure sinking off to the south. And the air is going to come in from the southwest this afternoon as the isobars thicken up over us. It's going to be called warm air advection, and we're going to get back to the 40s today. And then the 50s tomorrow, dual warm fronts going by. And then a cold front tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, and according to the National Weather Service, might be snowing in southern New England. That blue there on Tuesday morning. I don't know about that. Maybe some snow in the hills. I don't think it's going to accumulate because it's going to be 55 degrees tomorrow. And then Tuesday gets colder. And then game on. A real interesting week coming in. I think starting in northern New England on tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, there will be some accumulating snow showers. And then it is going to snow at least a little somewhere in New England every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, especially Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, culminating perhaps in another Newfoundland bombogenesis over the weekend into early next week. To give the day-by-day details, that's kind of a tough situation. All right, Tuesday, you get those mixed showers. Wednesday, now we're starting to get real interesting Wednesday. It looks like it's going to be snowing from the northeast all the way to Montana. That's fascinating. And we're going to have a series of low-pressure systems going by. So it's not like one storm. There's going to be a front stalled pretty much along I-90 across the entire United States, although it will dip down further in the southwest. I think a couple of the key factors are I'm going to have a trough in the southwest United States. That's going to be ejecting energy and maybe a little moisture out of the Gulf of Mexico, and also some ridging in Western Canada. That's going to supply the cold. It's just wall-to-wall cold in Canada. And I know the model's been waffling on sort of the axis. Look at the 850 chart. You can see the dark blue. That's kind of the storm track, and that's where it's cold enough for snow. And then the yellow is really warm. The orange is record warm. Purple is cold. The gray and the purple is close to record cold, so it's almost record cold in Canada and record warm in the southern United States. So a series of waves of low pressure are going to come through here, especially Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Right, we may have 4 distinct waves of low pressure. Each one will come with pulses of energy. I think ultimately the rain-snow line will sink to the south coast, so all of New England will probably be white by this time next week. Yeah, who wants it in late February, right? All right. Been getting a lot of requests about what is stratospheric warming, or more particularly sudden stratospheric warming. The air that most weather exists in, that we experience, is the troposphere, right? That's the air on the bottom, say, 8 miles of the atmosphere. But then above that is the stratosphere. And there are scientists you want to watch in Norway, PV-Forecast, and right here in Massachusetts, Judah Cohen. If you just focus on those 2 Twitter feeds, you'll be in the know. And then you can go to Judah's blog, which I did this week. He's a really nice guy. We've spoke together at different conferences. He says not only was there a sudden stratospheric warming this week, it was a major sudden stratospheric warming. First one, he says, since 2021. So the stakes are very high for what can happen here. You look at the PV forecast. Look at the birds. The PV forecast for later this week shows kind of the coldest weather just west of London, extending all the way back to New York. Yeah, these maps are kind of challenging because you're looking down from the North Pole. So you see all the northern continents with the North Pole being right in the middle. You can also see that on the pivotalweather.com 850 analysis. Looking down, you see some of the coldest air. Initially this week is right over Canada, but then it kind of splits. Some of it goes to Asia, some of it goes to Europe, some of it comes here. So it's not as if we're getting just a polar vortex disruption with the polar vortex going into one of the continents. It looks like it's going to split into pieces, is how it looks. And one piece of that may be pretty close to New England next weekend. And when it comes to big storms, you get hints from the guidance. And right now the hint is that the biggest storm may end up being in the Northwest Atlantic next weekend or early next week. That would be the 27th, Monday the 27th. To try and explain how it happens and which comes first is rather challenging. You know, warm air takes up more space. So if the atmosphere in the stratosphere is warming, it's going to take up more space. And that expansion of that air up in the sky, I believe, may be what results in disrupting the air below it. In other words, it's getting the polar vortex below the stratospheric vortex will be pushed out. Either that or the polar vortex leaves and the stratosphere sort of expands, and that causes the warming. Something to keep an eye on, something to watch. Fascinating. It was a deep dive into the science. Look at that bird right there. So pretty. What is that? Is that a... oh, there's a name for it. It's an Arctic duck. I'll get back to you on that. I always say I'm going to get back to you on things. All right, I'm going to leave you with some of the fun antics of me trying to put up a flagpole by myself yesterday. Trying. I did it. We did it, Rex. Rex was there for emotional support. Nice day for replacing a birch tree flagpole. Not the easiest thing in the world. A lot of tools and getting the old pieces apart. Yankee jury rigging is what I think we call it. Yeah, we gotta un-jury rig it and then re-jury rig it. Rig it. It's all rigged. Very easily distracted. I have a tough time getting things done because I always see something else I'd rather do. All right, making progress there. But as I'm working, I'm like, are those pussy willows down there? I didn't realize that I had pussy willows on the hill here. Let's go check those out, Rex. Goodness gracious, it's a huge one. And they look great. Time to climb in the bushes, get yourself some pussy willows, put them inside. I can't believe I've been here years and I never even noticed those before. Rex, you gotta pay more attention around here. Why do you think the ones down the hill are so much more advanced than these ones? Because those ones are in the sun and these are not. Forsythia advancing nicely too. Meant to bring in these a month ago. They almost bloomed on New Year's Day. So bring in the pussy willow and the forsythia. Getting these pins out. Harder than getting them in. And I had help when I got them in from my brother on July 4th. Can't do it with one hand, that's for sure. Got a wrench and a hammer and a saw. And I need a hand. Anyone got a hand? Good half hour into it. How long is it? Can't remember. I don't know, 14 inches. There were two of them. Now to get the other pole up. Sure, that's gonna be no problem. Kind of concerned about that scoliosis right there, that curve. I think I gotta cut it off. Yep. Gull concurs. And of course, every time you have to do something else, you need another tool. And last time I used this tool, chainsaw, the blade came off, so I got to get that back on. Look at these guys out there pulling a maneuver. Tugboat's kind of straightening out the barge or something. I don't know what's going on there. But you know, things always go wrong whenever they can. You gotta be patient and fix them. Good day for it. Focus, Tim, focus. No luck on that. I don't think that is supposed to look like shrapnel, and I don't think that is supposed to look like shrapnel. I just couldn't get the blade to go back on. It won't go into the groove. Less than an hour on this chainsaw. I was so happy to get it. Now I'm so miserable. Would have been nice to use the chainsaw. I think I'm just destined for manual tools, though. Yeah, I'd rather be playing on the beach with a dog too. Use the manual saw. Not easy. Can we see how old this tree is? Let's see. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Maybe 24, 25 years old, somewhere in there. And they say that the birch is the nursery of the forest. When all the other trees go away, the birch come up, and they're in the first to go away. In other words, they don't have a long lifespan. Hopefully this one will live another year in the backyard. What do you think, Rex? Does it look straight? Maybe a tad toward the east. Got some helpers, finally. Steve, what do you think? A tad to the east. That's your standard flagpole installation, right? When you got one of these, you need one of these. No birds are going to be hurt installing this flagpole / bird feeder. Who's over there? Very low tide. When I started this project, the air was coming in from the northeast, then it was calm, and now it's coming in from the southwest. High pressure went right over us. Through there, through there, through there, through there, through there. Didn't buy any of this at the store, except for maybe that. And that. And in other news, the sun is finally going down far enough north that we can see it for the first time, sunset, since, I don't know, Halloween or so. We get a flagpole back up. That happens. And to top it off, we're going to put on a weather stick. You know the weather stick? Woodsman weather stick, they rarely work. They tell you what the weather's doing, in case you can't tell already. And we'll put that just above the bird feeder. So learn more about this as time goes forward. Yeah. There it goes. There it goes. Oh, we did it again. Steve, can you get the ball for us? Steve. T-Rex. I'm working way too hard. Oh, no. There it goes. Past the mercury outboard, all the way down there. You had it. Oh. Anyway, it's fun being able to play outside after 5 again, isn't it? That's a wrap. think these are sunset tours. Anybody know what how the copters are doing headed for the coast here at sunset? Should they be going the other way? Just went down. Next up, Venus and Jupiter. But you've had enough of me today. Another one. It's a trio. That's it. I'm done. For real.